This police officer, known as Cooper, is chasing a man she was on a date with. After she manages to stop him, he explains that he ran away because she had placed her gun on the table, which frightened him. Cooper clarifies that she was chasing him to return the wallet he had left behind at the restaurant. At that moment, the waiter appears and informs her that she forgot to pay the bill. Unlike Cooper, who is an honest and dedicated police officer, she works with two corrupt officers, Dixon and Hauser. At a certain point, Cooper is called by Captain Emmett, who invites her to escort a senior lieutenant and his wife, both members of a cartel. As they are going to testify against the leader of this organization, Cooper will go with Detective Jackson to carry out this task. As soon as Jackson hears Cooper's name, he remembers a funny situation involving her. This happened because Cooper misunderstood the term shotgun used by a guy. While they are in the car on their way to the destination, Cooper begins to lecture Detective Jackson for constantly exceeding the speed limits. After they arrive and meet the cartel lieutenant, Cooper decides to go upstairs to talk to his wife. At this moment, she meets Daniela, an extremely vain woman who is worried about trivial matters like choosing the clothes she will wear, even in such an important situation. Suddenly, they hear gunfire, and down below, an intense shootout is happening between Detective Jackson and several armed men. Amid the chaos, other criminals arrive and shoot the cartel lieutenant who was present at the scene. After a violent confrontation, Detective Jackson is hit by gunfire and ends up being killed. Now, Cooper finds herself alone and will have to take on the responsibility of escorting Daniela without anyone's help. She manages to find Daniela hiding in a car, and together, they manage to escape from the attackers. As soon as Cooper informs Daniela about her husband's death, Daniela becomes desperate and agitated. Cooper hands her the cell phone and asks Daniela to call the police for help, but Daniela ends up dropping the phone on the road during the confusion. When they stop the car to try to find a phone, Daniela decides she is going to leave. However, Cooper handcuffs Daniela to her own arm to ensure she doesn't go anywhere. Then, Cooper makes a call to the police dispatch to request help and explains everything that has happened. She mentions that one of the criminals had a tattoo, and then the two end up arguing about what animal was in the tattoo, trying to identify the drawing from the notebook that Cooper made. Moments later, Hauser and Dixon arrive at the scene. As Cooper and Daniela get into the car, Cooper begins to reflect on how they managed to arrive so quickly. When she asks Hauser to come closer, she notices the tattoo on the men who participated in the attack. Immediately, Cooper realizes that the situation is even more dangerous than she thought and informs Daniela about the risk they are both facing. To buy time and try to find a way out, they make an excuse to go to the bathroom. Once inside the bathroom, they spot a window that could be a means of escape. Cooper tries to climb up to reach the window, but upon seeing Dixon, she quickly decides to change plans. Then, Cooper decides to fire a shot into the air. The sound of the gunshot startles a man who was in the bathroom, causing him to run away. They seize the opportunity and ask the man for help to escape. Dixon and Hauser manage to reach the bathroom where Cooper and Daniela were, but the two women manage to escape before they can catch them. Minutes later, during their escape, the car they are in breaks down and ends up stopping on the road. While they try to deal with the situation, Cooper hears a sound coming from a cell phone and discovers that Daniela had been hiding a phone inside her dress. Cooper quickly grabs Daniela's phone and decides to put it on the car radio to listen to what's going on. Upon hearing the broadcast, Cooper finds out that the radio is reporting that she is helping a fugitive, which deeply angers her as the two women move away from the car. Suddenly, a truck violently collides with their car, which was loaded with goods that Daniela's husband sold. The impact is so strong that it scatters the merchandise all over their faces. The truck driver, seeing all the merchandise, asks what it is. However, Cooper and Daniela decide to lie to him, trying to avoid trouble. Cooper then tells the truck driver that he made a mistake by hitting the car but that, to avoid further complications, she is willing to let him go. However, she imposes a condition that he must give them a ride. After the truck driver agrees and the two women leave the truck, they enter a nearby establishment. Cooper comes up with the idea that they should buy some new clothes to change into, so they can disguise themselves. After changing and putting on the new clothes, they see on television a news report saying that they are being sought by the police. This makes them even more alert and worried about the situation they are in. When they go to pay for the clothes, Cooper notices, by looking at the store's security camera footage, that the men who attacked them earlier are there. Immediately, Cooper hurries to leave the store with Daniela. The two women quickly head to a small car being transported by a truck. As soon as the car is parked and the truck driver gets out, Cooper and Daniela prepare to escape. However, Daniela insists on taking the suitcase. Cooper tries to convince her not to take the suitcase, but Daniela refuses to leave without it. Cooper is curious about what is inside the suitcase and decides to take a look. When she opens the suitcase, she is surprised to find it is full of various pairs of shoes. Daniela reveals that the shoes were a gift from her brother before he passed away. When they leave, Daniela decides to move away and go in another direction. At that moment, Cooper is confronted by a man who approaches and asks what she is doing in his truck. Realizing that Cooper is in danger, Daniela runs back to help. To distract the man and create an opportunity to escape, Daniela begins to pretend she is Cooper's girlfriend. She approaches and starts to simulate a kiss with Cooper in an attempt to divert the man's attention. Daniela's plan works, and the man becomes so mesmerized by the scene that he accidentally shoots himself in the finger. Cooper starts searching for the lost finger and initially thinks it is with the dog. However, the finger is actually stuck in Daniela's hair. After finding the finger, Cooper returns it to the man and advises him to go to the hospital. Then, Cooper and Daniela quickly leave the scene and find a truck. When night falls, Daniela wakes Cooper, who was asleep at the wheel. The two start talking about personal and intimate matters. After this conversation, a man appears behind the truck. Cooper gets scared, and the man bangs his face against the truck's window. Cooper then stops the vehicle. Cooper realizes that the man has an ankle monitoring device that allows others to track his location. Daniela then decides to handle the situation to avoid problems. Meanwhile, the man gets up and introduces himself as Randy, informing them that they have also stolen his truck and that they are being searched for. However, he offers to help resolve the situation. Cooper quickly makes a decision and throws Randy's monitoring device into the river so they cannot be tracked. While they are behind the truck, Cooper takes the opportunity to talk about her father, who was a police officer and died while on the front lines of his job. Randy, noticing the activity, sees that the cars around them are being stopped and warns Cooper and Daniela about the danger. Shortly after, Randy is approached by Hauser. When Hauser goes to check the back of the truck, Cooper and Daniela are no longer there, as they manage to hide. They had disguised themselves in deer costumes and were camouflaged in the bushes to avoid being found. Finally, Cooper and Daniela manage to reach a hotel room located inside a casino. Before Cooper leaves to get food with Randy, she decides to handcuff Daniela to ensure she doesn't escape. However, Daniela hugs Cooper and thanks her for the protection she is offering. Cooper then turns on the TV but becomes frustrated to find that all the news channels are focused on them. Cooper goes to Randy's room to get the food she had arranged with him. After chatting for a bit, a romantic tension starts to develop between them, and they end up kissing. When Cooper returns to the room where Daniela is, she is faced with an unexpected situation. Daniela, who had managed to take Cooper's gun when she hugged her, confronts her. She states that she has no intention of going to Dallas to testify against anyone. As soon as Cooper releases Daniela, she attacks with a suitcase, and the two start fighting over the weapon. Cooper moves faster and manages to grab the weapon. When she discovers that Daniela's shoes are worth several $1 million, Hauser and Dixon arrive at the scene. However, the two manage to escape through another door. As they are about to leave, Hauser shows up to apprehend them, but Randy saves their lives. While Cooper gets distracted asking for a taxi, Daniela convinces the driver to get on a sightseeing bus. Cooper follows her, and during the trip, Hauser and Dixon appear and shoot at the bus. After the driver panics and jumps out, Cooper takes the wheel with Daniela's help. After managing to get rid of Dixon and Hauser, Cooper and Daniela enter a building on the road. They manage to stop the vehicle in time, but unexpectedly, Daniela attacks Cooper with a blow. When Cooper wakes up, she discovers that Daniela is fleeing with other men. It is then revealed that Daniela is determined to eliminate Cortez to avenge her brother's death. After this event, Cooper returns to the precinct, burdened with guilt for not stopping Daniela's plan. Meanwhile, the TV news reports that Cortez will be released. Captain Emmett, however, reassures her, saying that despite everything, she managed to keep Daniela alive. Cooper then explains to the captain about the revenge Daniela plans to carry out. The captain, however, asks her to try to forget the complicated situation and go home to rest. Shortly thereafter, Daniela arrives at Cortez's daughter's party with the intention of executing her revenge plan. Daniela meets Cortez, and he tells her to meet him in a private room where they can have a more confidential conversation. Cooper, disguised as a man, shows up at the location, and the two head to the bathroom. In the bathroom, Cooper tries to persuade Daniela to reconsider her decision to eliminate Cortez. She suggests that Daniela use a listening device to record a confession from Cortez about what he did to her brother. While Cooper is helping Daniela, a woman enters the bathroom and, upon seeing what is happening, hits Cooper. As a result, Cooper is removed from the party by security. However, she notices the clothing of some women who are about to enter the party, and she manages to re-enter the party disguised. At the party, Cooper encounters Captain Emmett and is surprised to discover that he is also a corrupt man. Meanwhile, Daniela sits down to drink with Cortez, apparently relaxed and conversing with him. Captain Emmett then apprehends Cooper, but she manages to leave him behind. After escaping Captain Emmett's attention, Cooper heads to the room where Daniela and Cortez are. Daniela attempts to subdue Cortez, but he manages to draw a gun in response. When Cooper arrives, Cortez reacts. In a critical moment, Cooper manages to save Daniela's life and apprehend Cortez. However, Daniela, still consumed by her desire for revenge, is determined to kill Cortez. Cooper pleads with her not to do it, warning of the consequences. When Daniela lowers her weapon, Cortez treacherously pulls out a second gun with the intention of shooting Daniela. However, Cooper acts quickly and eliminates Cortez before he can make any move. saving Daniela's life, Daniela is quite upset and frustrated because she was unable to complete her revenge against Cortez. Despite her disappointment, Cooper explains that her actions were solely to save Daniela's life. 3 months later, Cooper is recognized for playing a crucial role in eliminating Cortez. After leaving the precinct with Daniela, Cooper breaks the rules and returns one of the pairs of shoes that Daniela had left behind. Then, the two get into the car, and while they are inside, Cooper reveals to Daniela that she is having a secret affair with Randy. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to receive next videos.